Give me just 5 minutes of your time and we'll be connecting an ePaper screen with an ESP32.
Hi, I'm Christine, and my channel is all about creating fun and creative wearable projects, things that you can make. I've also written a book about wearable technology, which is available at all good bookstores.
The things we're going to need today for our build is just a dev module, ESP32. You can really use any ESP32 that you like and just modify the code slightly for the pins, and an ePaper screen. This here is a 2.13 inch model, so it's a really nice size. It also has these holes around it which make it perfect for sewing things like our wearables project that I made earlier, and it also uses an ePaper screen and you're wearing it on the wrist, and it's a to-do list. I'll show you at the end of the video. The other thing you might notice is it's not connected to anything, yet it's still displaying what we want it to display. So for me, this is a super winning feature of why I love using ePaper screens in my builds. You can literally turn off your circuit, have no power, and that will stay on the screen. When you purchase your ePaper module, most of them have some kind of connector. Here we can see our connector on the back, and this just tells us what each of the pins are related to once we've plugged that in. Just make sure that's pushed in nice and firmly. This is a particular board. It is an ESP32, just a dev module. It's got USB-C, which is really nice, and it is a 38-pin module. So what you're going to want to do is I just went through singly wire by wire, starting with either side of the top. If you start with busy, which is purple at this top zone, if you are using the same board as me, this purple wire here is going to go straight into GPIO number 4 on our board. So have a look at the pins and what we're using, and then you can pin yours up the same as me, or you might have a different pinning system for your board. Both are fine. So the other thing just to say, in previous videos when I have used ESP32, in this case we are plugging it straight into the board, but you can also use these little, very small breadboards, and what you would do is just plug your ESP32 at the edge of one, for example. So here it's just plugged in at the edge. So now we can see we've got these rows that we can use. And then you'll just take another one and plug this in at the edge as well. So now you have got a larger prototyping area. So that's just a helpful tip if you are struggling to fit this on a regular sized breadboard, which it is a struggle to get these guys to fit. So once you've got all your connections done, you are going to need a programming cable. So make sure it is not just a power cable. It has to also be data. Lots of times, if your code is not uploading, it could be because of your cable. Go to the code, which is available on GitHub. Please follow the link. Grab the code. We are using a couple of libraries. We've got an SPI library. We've got this GX EPD2_3C because mine is the color module. You might be using just a black and white module. So there is a BW library as well. So do get the correct library for the board that you're using. From there, you're just going to be editing the pins, and what this one will do is it is just looping through to show the different colors. So it might do black or red or white. So it is just looping through a color combination for this particular, in this case, this image is just CMOS. What I did is I turned this drawing into the actual bitmaps. There is a website that you go to and you can get the bitmap absolutely just created. So in the code, I've put the address of it. When you have the information, you're going to just go to the H file that is included. So mine's just called cmoslogo.h. Yours might be whatever image that you choose. And then you just have to paste the code that's generated on the website into this document, and that will just feed through straight, which you'll then be able to see on your screen, which is fantastic. And then don't forget, you can, when you've sort of got the look or whatever it is you want to display, when you unplug it and remove the power, it will stay locked in at whatever was last displayed on the screen. Super cool. So I just thought I would show you as well that I've made this particular project with a screen, and it is a to-do list, and it also connects to my phone. So I would go to the IP address that is listed at the very bottom of the ePaper display. It will open on my phone, but I have an entire video that will demo this project and also talk you through how to build it, how to sew the connections. So this is sort of a next step. Once you get your board working, you can do some super cool things with it.